So AMP and the Stinner Summit has been a wonderful way for me to connect with a broader community of farmers, activists, academicians, all working toward building a more sustainable food system.
Interesting ideas can come to fruition, where connections can be made that otherwise don't have a real place and a home.
Ben and how much he wanted to create things like learning circles where people are on an equal basis, and academics learn from farmers and farmers learn from academics, and everybody learns from everybody else.
Bringing people together to talk about these things and then figuring out ways that we can work together to help.
To include many disciplines that otherwise might not be involved in this work.
The single most important thing that I value about both AMP and the Stinner Summit, it really is the opportunity for people who might never otherwise cross paths to have an opportunity to learn about the work that we each are doing, how that work can overlap, how we can collaborate to really be impactful.
As being a remarkably outward-facing kind of convening of people, it's not about us, it's not about Ohio State, it's about how we can help facilitate a place where people can talk, where people can meet, where people can hear about ideas. And I'm really impressed with the way that it's really filled that role in Ohio.
Actually, everyone who shows up at Stinner, especially in those couple of 3 or 4 early years when I was coming, you didn't know what was going to happen at the end of the day, and I really liked that. I liked that people didn't come with a plan or a proposal, but actually just came with their good thinking.
Find a group of people who respected our respective paradigms, discovering that we could have conversations, we could learn from each other. We need not be threatened by someone else's discipline or perspective. So for me, that was pretty important.
I think that there's a real willingness and openness to carve out space that you don't find in other parts of the university. And it allows folks that are working both in research and in practice with their boots on the ground to come together and envision new systems and new research questions and new ways of funding, and allows you to think outside the box.
The idea of having a wide variety of people in the room that may not always ever be in any other room together, but looking at how do we solve really what an ecological theologian calls wicked problems.
A lot of this idea of engaged and interdisciplinary research that is really part and parcel of the Stinner Summit.
It is very much about sharing the will and the interest and the outcome of the day's worth of planning amongst everyone that's willing to spend their day coming to the summit.
It's really that liminal space, the interconnectedness, the encouragement towards coming together and connecting versus everyone being in their own little silos.
So I think our work is really to help people see how their individual actions come together to either spell greater health or less health for the agroecosystem.
So how do we look at what are considered problems that are multifaceted, too challenging to really engage, but here's a person who says, in my neighborhood or my region or my context, I want to try this. And Stinner supports that after this kind of collaborative conversation that comes to a sense of this is a good way for us to invest.